superiority. Oh, fuck, I can't even say that word. Superiority.
mechanism against nature. You feel me?
What is nature?
Nature will call you, or the wild would call you the natural man. They will not call you human. You feel me? In society, a document proposes that you are human because you are not the natural man anymore.
Okay, wait, okay. Okay. So look, Goo, answer this question for me, right? You see how you
Mhm.
say human, natural man? This is all just to like these two concepts is just to explain like our own nature, our divinity, right? Correct?
Right.
Okay, cool. So you see how the word hi or what let's say greetings, like when you say hi or greetings, it could be saying in many languages, right?
I've had this conversation,
Can
and the
you
way
greet
that
no, Goo, I want you to answer the question. Can you greet somebody in different ways, more than two ways? The intention is
I mean,
greetings, but can you
I
do it
mean,
and
I
say it
don't.
in different
I
forms?
think the answer to your question is yes, but the
Okay.
accurate answer to your question is you want to greet somebody in their greeting. You feel me?
No,
So
Goo.
like if you're Mexican and I come up to you and I'll be like, "Hola, señor," you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's familiar. That comes with the familia and the family and all that shit, right? The familiar, right?
Yeah.
So that has to do with like the greeting thing. Now I've had this conversation. So like if I walk up to you, let's say here you're Hispanic, right? And I walk up to you and I go, "Hi," a person who's like drenched in Hispanic, culture, they're not gonna know that hi means hello. You understand that?
Yeah.
But if I go up to them and I say "Hola," they'll be like, "Oh, he says hello, hello." You know what I'm saying? Now,
Mm-hmm.
this is where the information turns into like, whoa, right? If
Mm-hmm.
I walk up to you in Hispanic, right, and
Yeah.
I'd be like, "Hey, yo, you want to get high?"
Mm-hmm.
It a Hispanic be like, "Oh yeah, let's go smoke some weed," right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I walk up to a a Hispanic person using the same word, because hi and hello being the same word, right? If
Mm-hmm.
I say, "Do you want to get hola?" it don't mean the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, because that's deep. Because that's overstanding the word magic to begin with.
But I'm talking about what you was talking about when it comes to applying it to as in knowing your divinity. I mean, the words, me calling myself a human and me calling myself the natural man really doesn't matter. I mean, what that you see how
Yeah, it
you
does.
just no
Okay, so let
listen,
me tell
go
you
go
why
go. Let
that
me
matters.
wait, go. Let me finish this.
When
Let
you
me
get done, I'll
go.
tell
You
you
keep
why. Okay.
go. You always cut me off though. But look, let me just say, when you just explain the natural man and when I call myself human, when you explain the natural man to me and I actually sit down and listen, I didn't listen to you not to just reply. I listened to you to really grasp or understand it. So
No,
when you call
I know. You
no,
feel
no,
me. You
I know.
got
Look,
to.
I can't even finish what I'm saying. So when you call
Go
me
ahead,
the
bro. I'm
natural
not telling
man,
you.
it didn't change my perception and what I was. It just was another term. Like it didn't do nothing. It's just okay. Now I'm the natural man. I'm the human. I am that I am. This is why we shouldn't put titles on ourselves. I,
Right, right.
I'm regretting even
But the
saying
fact that
I'm a
we live in a
human because at
society
the
that
end of the
does
day,
that, we have to
truly,
be, we have to be, we
you
have to
don't know
know.
what you
You know
truly
what I'm
are.
saying?
But I'm gonna just place myself at I'm a human right now, and that right now, just being grounded. That's all I need to know. You're human. We gotta just stop living in our heads a lot because I used to have this God complex. But it's like, what is that when you was talking about strengths and weaknesses? The weakness is just this lowest. When we talk about lower vibrations, that's just the seed of its full fruition. So when you see Goose said looking at people's strengths, I would say always look for your weaknesses, because within your weaknesses is how you're gonna find how to be strong. You just don't become strong. You become strong by targeting your weaknesses. So that's why I say I will look for the weakness, not the strengths, because other people's strengths, when people became strong, that's because they had a weakness and they homed in on that weakness. They focused in on that weakness and they transformed it into strength. So I would never look at somebody's strength. Why? Is because if I look at somebody's strength, I am looking at the process of what they saw within themselves. They saw that they was weak, therefore they had to get strong. That's within the human
What
nature.
about the
That's why I say
contingent
human. You
thing
want to
that
know
no
why I
one
say
was strength?
human? Because for the people on the live, goo. The reason why I say human is because for the people on live, we was comparing Superman powers. I'm talking about what I am right now. Look, we all could do what Superman do, but I'm talking about right now from a human perspective. Always look at your weakness, because within weakness bears the fruit of strength. That's why I would never look at somebody's strength, because they only looked at their weakness and transformed it into strength. So why would I ever look at somebody's strength? I will look at my weakness, because once I look at my weakness, I'm looking at the fruit of the seed of my strength. That's why I said weakness. That's why I said from a human perspective. Do you understand what I was coming from now?
I mean, I get what you're saying, but you're saying you literally, and I'm not joking with you. You literally said two different things. You said I wouldn't observe somebody's strengths,
Yeah, I
so
will
you
observe their
can know
weakness.
your own weaknesses. And I knew what you meant by it. I just wanted to know that you said that. You feel me? What I'm saying? I knew
Mm-hmm.
what you meant by it. I was just letting you know you said that. But
No, I know what
in
I said. That's why I said it.
right, right. But you said that you wouldn't look at somebody else's strengths
I wouldn't.
so you can know your own weaknesses.
I
You
literally
didn't
just
say so you
explained.
know their weaknesses.
I literally just said, "Oh, so I can know my own weaknesses." Yeah, I wouldn't look at someone's strength, bro. It's because that's their strength. What they achieve is just nothing more but a story of their weakness. So I wouldn't look at their weak. I would look at
I get what
where
you're
was they
saying,
weak
but
at.
like, I'm gonna put it to you this way. I'm gonna put it to you this way. The way that a Batman is the best superhero is because he knows everybody's strengths and he knows everybody's weakness. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say that you should just know strengths or just know weakness. I think that you should probably know a balance between it and know how to critically think to create, any scenario that has to do with you either triumphing, succeeding, or reaching a what's the word? Reaching past the level, a threshold. That's what I meant to say.
From an understanding, you see, I feel what you're saying now, because now I'm gaining more notice on what you mean. You see, when I said that, I wasn't thinking on an external factor of anybody else, because I know when we home in on the energy within, as within, so without, I'm already gonna know someone's weaknesses, someone's strength. As a person, I know my strengths, I know my weaknesses. So that's why I'm saying I
That's
wouldn't
an
look at the strength,
inevitability.
because look, on today's path, people understand that us as human beings, human nature, we get too blinded by the light. We get too blinded by the strengths of people, which is their light, which they only came from darkness, and they shine light on themselves. They look within the dark. We get blinded by the light sometimes, and it becomes too blinding that we forget to look internally. So when I'm saying look at the weakness, when whoever we idolize, whether it's a martial artist, a superhero, whether it's a singer, you will always see that they in their story they always tell you their weakness. They always tell you where they came from, what issues they had, what they were struggling with, them weaknesses, them issues that they had to deal with, and how they triumph over that with discipline. That's what causes them to make their strength. Homing in on that weakness within self, it allows you to become aware of your strengths and become aware of your weaknesses, which you can apply that in all people. You know what I'm saying? I don't even have to even have a full analysis on people anymore. I just see you from the way you walk, see you from the way how you introduce yourself. I can know everything about you from that, just from a simple conversation. If you really want to know about somebody, you get them triggered, you get them angry, you get them upset. That's where their deep emotions lie. And if you really truly want to know somebody and how they feel, you get them upset or you get them triggered. Watch the things they might get triggered by. That's how you truly home into how you can view people, how you know who's good for you, who's good to work with. That's how you analyze. And that's all about having the discipline of your own emotions, humming in on the weak within internally. So it's all about just the observation of self. Once you have self-gnosis, you're not gonna even
Yeah,
care about
hey,
other people.
catch
You're
what
not gonna
I
even want
said
to judge
earlier, bro.
anybody else. You're not gonna even want to.
Hey,
It,
and
it's
that's the whole point where I'm getting at the judging part, right? So
oh
like
shit.
earlier when I was
My
telling you
fault,
about,
sir. I didn't even see that.
earlier when I was mentioning it, I was just saying that like you can learn so much from observing other people. That's what I
Yes,
was
I heard
saying.
that.
when you can observe someone's strength, because like when you observe their try to analyze their weakness, it's judging.
What's
You
up,
feel me?
guys?
Yo, what's good, bro?
When you
Yo,
can
I didn't.
see,
Son just called me to look at the comments for some reason. Niggas use
Yeah,
selective.
yeah. That's why I didn't have to say. I didn't have to say much because I was like, one, I
Yeah,
know he's not looking, but two, I was like, he's gonna see it when he's supposed to.
yeah.
Yeah, that's that. That's that. I love it, bro. I love that we always be on the same telepathy type shit.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up, Goo? How you doing, man?
oh man, trying to elevate,
One, do or do not. There is no try. Master Yoda, bro. Bro, when I say that because when I was thinking I was also I'm not gonna hold it. I was really thinking about because you know how like I was on some trying shit and you know the soul is always the soul is always communicating to you. And I noticed my soul is I pay
Yeah.
attention to what it is I watch because I don't just watch anything.
Right.
I
Mm-hmm.
stopped allowing myself to just watch anything or just read anything. So I know if I'm watching or reading something, I'm teaching myself something. So when I
Yeah.
saw that do or do not, there is no try, it's almost like I've been telling my mother, I was outside and I was chilling meditating and I was just thinking heavy about some shit and then I saw a caterpillar and I was like and at the same time I saw a butterfly and I was like, you know what? A caterpillar doesn't think about being a butterfly.
Mm.
A caterpillar doesn't have to try to become a butterfly. They don't be thinking about the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. Probably.
Right. All right.
So,
Yo, let's
Happens effortlessly.
regenerate. Let's regenerate the word try, right? So we're gonna do trichology and all that other good shit, right? So TRY, right? The real Y. THY, right? Or TRY, I'm sorry. The real Y, right? The real Y is Y.
I'm ready to get my day started on a positive note just because of the energy y'all brought. So I appreciate y'all, man. For real. Appreciate y'all and love y'all. I'm finna end this live.
Have a purpose, right? If you know what you're here for, if yourself, the question. So when you hear the answer in your head, a lot of people need that kick in the ass to ask them the question and be like, why am I over here on the south side of the city looking for whatever when I need to be at my crib, doing my purpose, or over here doing my purpose. You feel me? And then once you ask yourself that question, something clicks in the brain, and then you start answering that question in so many ways. You're like, damn, I don't need to be doing this right now. You feel me? That's
I,
the real why.
I'd say to that is you say why, but you got to remember as a guy, you're the one creating the question anyway. There's only a question if you choose to ask the question. As in, when you say my purpose or you say why, these are all things as energy. As God, we like to create narratives because stories are entertaining. Like when you realize ain't nothing really happening in this bitch, it's relatively quiet within the primordial chaos. At the same, in the primordial chaos, silence is the most dominant note. You know what I mean? When you go why or this or when you're making as eternal awareness that's witnessing the energies at work, what happens is everything is what it is, but then the mind is the great narrator. The mind is the mind thinking is the act of reacting. So when you're observing something, it really is just what it is. But to make shit interesting, the mind chooses to react and craft the narrative. And then as God, you go, oh, that must be the story. And then you continue to fuel that with your awareness, not being aware that you're writing the story as you witness it, simply because you chose to react. So when you go try or when you go purpose, there is no purpose. You know, purpose is man-made. Purpose is a man-made concept. Purpose is the act of codifying existence. Did his phone die?
I don't know.
Whatever. He'll come back if he's supposed to. But like, purpose is the act of codifying existence, because you know we're from a human perspective, we got used to looking at things from the standpoint of utilizing utilizing tools. We go, oh, this is a hammer, and the purpose of this hammer is to bang shit in. This is a wrench, and the purpose of this wrench is to wrench things. I don't know what wrenches do, how you say that, but to wrench shit. All right, but I could use this wrench as a hammer if I wanted to. But I gave it a different purpose and a different name. But it's a table and a chair is the same shit. I could sit, but when you sit on a table, people will look at you crazy. If you eat on a chair, people will look at you crazy. But they're the same thing. But as society or as God, we gave them different purposes. The purpose of the table isn't to be sat on. The purpose of the chair isn't to be. What's going on, brother? But these are all, you gotta realize that. I've started to realize to really quote unquote be God or whatever that is to remember that you are the source of the narrative. Now, there's nothing wrong with following the narrative because it can be entertaining, but don't forget that there's a fine line between illusion and reality. Illusion and reality are two sides of the same coin. An illusion is a byproduct of lack of awareness of what's going on. You could be experiencing something and you call it reality, and in fact, it's probably an illusion. Reality is an illusion when you don't know what reality is. Because like you think that you're inside the box and you think all there's to it is what's inside the box. But it's not until you step outside the box and see outside the box and inside of the box. I call that reality. But when you think only the inside of the box exists, that's an illusion. Now, you're still dealing with the same thing. It's just your perspective on it, your understanding of it. When he was talking about, when you guys were using the word strength and weaknesses, as someone who's been, or even when he said trying to elevate, you don't try to do shit, all right? You're either doing something or you're not doing something. That's why you got to realize, as the God of his reality, he was saying, I'm trying to elevate. What he's basically just saying is, I have not accepted my own elevation.
Because people know the common understanding that this earth is duality. But in the same essence, they don't realize that it's either you healing yourself or you just killing yourself. There is no in between. And people will be like, what? But like literally, if you're not healing yourself, working on a daily basis to grow and strive to evolution, then you de-evolution, I don't know how to fucking say that shit.
Deify. Yeah, you said it right. Deify. What happens is that you have to realize that we've all convinced ourselves that there's a destination. There is no destination. For eternal energy, there is no destination. And when you keep acting like there's a destination, you're setting yourself up to be miserable in this bitch. You're never done, so you might as well take it. You might as well take it one thing at a time, because you're never done. You're eternal. There's always gonna be some shit to do, so you might as well focus on one thing at a time. And you're actually gonna move faster by doing that. The reason why a lot of people aren't quote unquote growing is because they feel like they got to work on 10 things at the same time. They feel like they're not where it is they're supposed to be. They feel like they're lacking in abundance. They're constantly gauging. What's funny is they're judging themselves based off of external factors, but they don't even realize that the reason why they're judging themselves based off of external factors is because they're existing within the realm of illusion within the mind. They're constantly in a reactive state. When you realize most people aren't even really dealing with their problems, they're dealing with their thoughts and their emotions on their problems, but not what actually happened. You wanted to say something? Go ahead.
You know, the rat race to make us work to live, it's the same thing when people try to apply that same logic to their spiritual side, as in they in a rush. They in a rush to be at an end goal or to do certain things, and I realized that like that rushing is the same thing that's stopping you from growing.
Mm-hmm.
Because
100% right.
yeah, because if you're rushing so fast to get to a certain point and then you don't get to that point, you're most likely gonna quit. And even the people who do get up, they don't really know where to keep going because there's always in a rush. So if you're always in a rush, how you expect to even finish the race if you don't even know where the race started? If you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's why you have to be self-aware of what it is you're saying. Because when you say, I'm trying to elevate, or I'm saying I'm working on my strengths or my weaknesses, those are actually very empty things in terms of energy, because everything is about energetic flow, in the sense that, and when you speak and when you start aligning yourself and your words with the truth, as in infinity, which is just a symbol, and energy either flows or there's levels of resistance and there's harmonization and things of that nature. So when you go, instead of going, I'm trying to elevate, you go, I'm on the path of elevation, which is eternal. There is no destination. As in, it's not I'm on the path to elevate, it's I'm on the road of elevation. But when you realize, all right, let's think about this, then there's another question that spawns by the fact that you said that. What the fuck is up? What the fuck is down? What the fuck is left? What the fuck is right? Up, down, left, right are byproducts of the person who's witnessing it. So up, down, left, right, forward, back is constantly changing relative to the perspective of the one who's making that decision. If I turn around, my left and my right has changed relative to somebody else. If I flip upside down, my up and my down has changed. So again, you have to realize that as God, you're not even moving. You created the illusion of movement to experience it, to have an experience. You're not moving. When you go, what it is. So this is why I talk about decodifying what it is you codified. We codified our existence, so you got to decodify what it is you codified. It's almost like, okay, what am I trying to say by I'm saying I'm elevated? What does that mean? Now you're saying that you're getting better. Better at what? So, okay, now you created this concept of good, bad, better, not as good. When in reality, all it is you're talking about is your levels of awareness relative to who it is you are. All people are trying to express is their relationship relative to themselves, their levels of awareness as to what is going on. That's when you're talking about my strength, my weakness. I'm trying this. I want to elevate. I want this. All you're detailing, all you're expressing is that you really just want a better understanding or relationship with yourself. And a lot of people don't even realize that it is as simple as in order to start having a better relationship with yourself, it literally starts with saying, I love myself out loud.
Yeah,
Especially
I want to tap into the subject when I was not even in, and it was just him and Goo, I think, or somebody else.
Really quickly, because I'm a good listener. So there's one more thing I wanted to say to Jahsir, so I don't forget it. Do you mind, real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
When Jahsir was talking about strength and weaknesses, bro, because that's something I've been dabbling with, and bro, it's not strength and weakness. Again, these are flip-floppy words. These are dualistic principalities. It's really what you're looking at is where that person's putting their focus. It's just focus. When you look at someone and you're saying, oh, I'm seeing all their strengths, or it's not really, you can call it strength or weakness based off of a byproduct of what it is they're manifesting, what it is you're seeing. But when you're looking at it, when you're looking at somebody or you're looking at yourself, all you're bearing witness to is where that person is funneling their focus, whether it be a quote unquote good thing or bad thing. But it's not really good or bad. It's just what it is they want to experience, what it is they want to express. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're talking about.
All right, go ahead, brother.
All right, so I just wanted to tap into when they're talking. George said he don't really like about when people talk about like God complex, and when people
Mm-hmm.
feel like they have their self like have a God complex.
Yeah.
I wanna dive deeper into that realm.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like it was like people live in their heads too much, bro. They want to like call themselves these number mere titles of what you are. It's like I said, it gets to the point to where I don't even know what the fuck I am. I'm done putting titles on myself. I'm just gonna be what it is already. And like I used to have that God complex when I first came into like learning about self and all that shit. It's like, oh, that means shit to what you're doing, bro. That knowledge of gaining all this gnosis chakras, whatever it is, it don't mean nothing unless you're gonna imply it. That's all that matters, bro. It's all about the discipline. That's what's gonna really make you whatever you see yourself in a few years. You gotta apply the discipline. Fuck all like people just want to idolize things because it sounds so cool. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Like you on your own path, do what you gotta do. But at the end of the day, it's two distinct acts. Knowing and doing is two distinct acts. That's it doesn't God, man, bug, it don't matter, bro.
I
Action.
I'd respond to that as in they're only two. I'd say they're only two distinct acts is because the way you've rationalized them, you choose to see them as two distinct acts,
Mm-hmm.
knowing and doing.
Yeah.
You say they're two different things because you said that because of your overstanding of them. You overstand them as two different things.
Yeah.
But me,
Or for experience.
but when I look at knowing and doing, I don't distinguish them as two different things. I distinguish them as one thing, one flow of one river at two different bend points within the river.
Mm-hmm.
As in, they're a part of the same ocean. They're actually the same wave, but they're that singular wave at different points at the buildup of the wave. The big wave started off as a small wave, but it's still the same wave, but it just looks different. But it's still the same wave in the same ocean.
So like we just said, like, are we like saying the same thing just in like different terminologies?
We're saying the same thing, but we're looking at it from two different places.
Perceptions, yeah.
As in, when you gotta remember, brother, there's only variables. And you said this, and I think we both said this. There are no absolutes. There are only variables.
Variables, yep.
There is what's happening is that what are you talking about, the God complex thing or whatever? I didn't hear the whole thing. But the first thing that comes to me is that because again, because so many of us are used to viewing things from the first person perspective of the vessel, and they go, "Oh, I'm God." So many people are walking around trying to reason and rationalize everything they come into contact with. They're trying to rationalize everything they come in contact with, because this human experience is the act of rationalization, because the mind is always in a reactive state. Oh, I sit in this chair. Oh, I use this desk. Oh, and what A squared plus B squared.
Sweet dreams are made of the
Kyrie, while we're on the topic of promotion.
Oh,
So, to the most natural. Oh, I just stopped playing video games, stopped paying my Hulu Plus and my Netflix. Nah, I mean stripped down to I ain't had no electricity, no internet, no water. Grow from that. I'm living in a whole different country, don't even speak the English. I mean the Spanish. Grow from that. I'm talking about used to seeing semen on the ground, used to wearing shoes. Grow from that. It's been like when you strip down, it's not caring how many clothes you wear. It's not caring how many times you wore the same shirt and you did a live. It's not caring about what people think. You have to mentally and spiritually strip down. Like, yo, for real, for real. You gotta get out the American house and strip down. Like, that's where we pretty much are right now. That's how far I had to strip down for my business to be successful. And I feel like I'm successful in my business aspects, but I always know I can do better. But it's like You gotta really strip down. It's not really light to do it either. It's a lot of darkness because you
No.
don't want to go there, but you got to because that's the root. You
Yeah.
gotta go to the
I
root.
truly believe that you have to die to live. It it it's something that I really really believe. Like I cannot think I can figure out life unless I die. So I don't think dying is like dropping this physical body. I think you can die in a different way. Stripping yourself down from all the habits is a form of dying. You know,
Mhm.
and then becoming new. So would you
Mhm.
say this is like, okay, hey, I died and now I am alive? You know?
I mean, the caterpillar doesn't really think that. Even though most people don't understand the caterpillar, when he go into that cocoon, he liquefies himself into a whole
Hmm.
liquid. Does it think it's dead? Nah,
Yeah,
it's just transforming. It's still in there, but it's in a liquidated form. It stripped itself down to the liquid form of itself.
I know that.
And when it comes to the perspective of humanity, when we strip down, we cast off all the programming. We sometimes move. We sometimes change our name. We sometimes change the people we hang out with. Hanging out with certain people at certain times is habits that you have to break sometimes because they take away from what you're really trying to do. The habit of people pleasing is another thing. There's a lot of
Absolutely.
habits, but
Right.
it's all about where you going with your habits. How long do you wish to be with those habits? And a habit is only terribly stagnational if it's continued to get in the way of what you're trying to do. And if you physically and mentally and spiritually know that it's in the way and you continue to do it, it becomes a low vibrational habit.
It becomes a parasite. Absolutely. Okay. Could we talk about, for example, other things that we can fast from that's not just food? A lot of people associate fasting
Okay.
with food. Could you talk about other things like that you have been fasting from, for example?
Fasting from use of plastics, fasting from giving my opinion, fasting from speaking, fasting from not greeting people every time I see them, fasting from, because you realize that sometimes you walk in crowds and you never say hey to anybody, but sometimes you got to go outside your comfort zone and reach out. So because I'm an introvert, I tend to not do it. So one of mine is to speak more to others so I can, break free of that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, um, there's a not saying no, and then there's a not saying yes fast. Um, there's so many ways you can go. You go into the sight fast. The sound fast is my favorite. I enjoy putting the earplugs in, and I don't mean music wise. I mean just earplugs, the best you can get, because the quieter you can get, the best it is. You plug your head in, and the only thing you can hear is high vibrational sounds, and it's just like birds,
Mm-hmm. And yourself,
maybe a dog or
right?
chicken, and your voice inside your head. And
Mm-hmm.
being with earplugs and working out, it's got to be my favorite way to work out because you hear your body move internally. Like when your muscle
Mm-hmm.
moves across your shoulders when you're doing pull-ups, you don't hear that with all the distraction aerial sounds. But when you plug your ears up and you don't hear no music, but you hear
Kerry, well,
The infinity aspect of God, when
headphones on listening to music.
I can't even listen to music and actually work out. It's like it takes me off balance. It's like my vibration and the music doesn't work together, so it just takes me off balance. I can't even walk straight if I listen to music in my ears.
My
So,
habit is erasing people and sounds. I think I've
yeah.
mastered detachment. It's like I can be in a crowd of people, but my mind can erase everyone and all sounds,
Ooh,
just
yeah.
so I stay focused. But that's one of my habits I'm trying to break because now I do it unconsciously,
Okay.
and so
I
that's one of mine. Yeah.
I really, I can be in the room and not hear anything unless my consciousness want to hear that. It can be one word of the whole conversation. It captures that, but I can block the whole thing. It's just something that has been developed within me. I just block everything
What
because it's
about
not
your
it's not serving
understanding of
me.
smell?
Hmm?
Like a smelling fast.
Yeah, I haven't thought. I was actually thinking about it not long ago, but then I don't know how.
Because you would plug your nose up. You would breathe through your mouth. But it would, man, to take away the smell will take away taste. To take away the smell makes your hearing more acute because you're trying to listen for danger. Danger really is a smell frequency first. If you think about it, I smell fire. I smell heat. You be smelling stuff. I smell somebody's perfume. I smell somebody's odor. That's like the first sign. And then hearing is like, what I smell, what I hear, where's that stuff at? And then everything tune in. So take out the smell. It changed a little bit.
That means we have to fast like from food to take out the smell, right? Because when
Nah, because when you just plug up your nose, taste buds aren't a smell. They're an action.
so that you won't taste it.
You don't
Because
know until you do
smell
it.
is taste first before it becomes a smell,
Yeah.
right? It's a
The
smell
smell
first.
makes stinky food taste good. Like durian. It smells real bad, but people like to eat it.
Ooh, yeah.
Stinky
That,
cheese,
that's
people like to
psychological
eat
connection.
it. And if you take away the smell, see how much of your life change. Is fasting is a fun thing and can be done as a game. If
Yeah,
you just really just enjoy tuning into your body and stop tuning into other programs. That's why I'm
yeah,
doing the body to earth focus on YouTube because it's about what can you change in your body and how can you see it reflect on the outside of you. And if you focus enough on your body, you can focus enough on what you need. And it's your own self focus. So body to earth focus is like one of my primary missions while I'm here
absolutely.
to keep that going.
That's the
And the
tool we
smell
have to work with.
frequency is the best. Tap into the smell frequency.
I would have to do that. I would have to do that. I love testing the body. It's fun, like you said. It's fun. We have a lot of people here. Yeah. Hey, Jerome. Yeah, a lot of people that fast here. Yeah. So I will try the smell definitely. Really, the sight. You said you want to walk outside
I've
blindfolded.
been testing it out. That's been building up. It is so scary. It's so scary. But that's the sight on fasting. That's not one you just jump into. Just like when you're trying to fast for long periods of day, you got to build your way up through the layers of saying, "Yo." But when you blindfold yourself, knowing you can see, and you say, "I'm gonna believe I'm across the street and not be hit," and you tap into yourself. I made it across the street once, but that was only once. But I was like in full fledged panic mode in my mind, but trusting myself because I know before I put the blindfold on that there was nothing on the street. So I
Mm.
knew that. So I still went through, but it was like having faith in myself at that point that I know
It
what
is
I
about
saw
trust.
and I'm going to get through there because it ain't that far. I done it before. Go type
Yeah.
energy. It's like a self talk that you don't really talk to yourself with.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a difficult one. But I think maybe like once you practice your hearing, for example, the
Yeah.
sound, right? If you block your
Yeah.
ears too much, then you will practice, active listening. Like you feel more
And
instead of
you
like
feel the
limiting your
vibrations
hearing.
on the ground.
Exactly.
You'll be able to feel with other senses. Man, it's just the body is a powerful thing. When you see people with just one arm and one leg surviving, and we just out here trying to eat, sleep, and obey, and I'm like, there's so much that the body can do
Mm-hmm.
if we just had to do it or we let it do. I spent a lot of time pretending to be blind though. I like being in the dark on purpose. I never know when the night gonna come forever. None of us do.
No. I need to practice more in the dark. Girl, I need to practice more.
None of us do, y'all. Y'all too happy about having light all the time. But
Oh my God, prepare to the
listen,
dark.
y'all, where we at? Closing your eyes in the dark. That's the one that get me. Open your eyes. It's dark. You need your eyes to see. Yo,
Oh
goofy
my
people.
goodness. I haven't thought about that one, prepare. Prepare for the dark. Oh my goodness. And you know,
we ain't got nothing else to do but be prepared for unknown things. Not just like TV is fun, but if you can't do any of that shit, it's just for what?
I know.
Like, I don't like watching Marvel movies because I ain't gonna fling myself from no building. I'm not finna jump stories, y'all. Like, that ain't even something I want to learn. So now it's programmed in my head that it's impossible. So my mind fulfilling impossible qualities and stuff. It just don't make sense.
Yeah, somebody said the light is what's blinding.
That's what I was saying earlier. The night is really the morning time because in the daytime we go to the AM, but when it's AM, the moon is out, not the sun. And when it's the next day, it's light outside. So
Mm-hmm.
when it's night, it's the official real morning time, daytime, rising time, whatever label you wish to label it, the sun up. And that right there is it, because when you look at your charts and zodiac and astrology, when they say when were you born, you say the AM, that's the beginning of the day.
Mm.
That's the Buenos Dias. That's not the Buenos Noches. It's it's in the night. So we celebrate the darkness because in the beginning was darkness,
I believe that.
such is the
I
day.
believe everything is opposite. Whatever I was told,
Yeah.
the opposite. You know, I believe that. I'm not wearing my glasses. Can you see that comment?
He said we scared of the dark, but we naturally shield ourselves from the light.
Hmm. Yeah.
We shield ourselves from the darkness of others, not so much as the light of the sun, I would say. Because mostly clothes were made to shield the thoughts of others, how they see you, how they don't see you, how you want them to see you.
Hmm.
That's the darkness in self of not understanding and appreciating self and loving self. So therefore, we shield ourselves from the darkness, not understanding that it's the light. Because if we just didn't have that darkness, we would just be light. But either way it go, it's all seen at some point, even if it's moon or sun. It can be seen ultraviolet rays. It could be seen through the heat. Light is different, but it's everywhere.
It is everywhere. Definitely. You know, but you can, our body is capable of feeling it. Even if the concept is, twisted, you're able to feel it, as long as you're in tune with your body. So that's why I feel like, these little practices of fasting from habit are very important, to enhance the skills, right? Like if you block your ears, you will enhance, your sight. Basically, you can be in the dark and walk because of now you know how to hear it, how you know how to um look for danger without the sound, right? So
Hmm.
you can change from, okay, this is the same comment, but yeah, it's all
I hear you
habits.
at 2 times, but something was happening. My homie was down on his bike, but I'm still listening.
Oh, is everything okay?
Okay.
You say your homie fell in on a bike, you say?
Yeah. We was over here trying to get ourselves together. But it's like a bike energy going around. I just got a bike, all praises. But it something happened electronic to it. But I take it as a different energy that I ain't supposed to be in the streets, running the streets right now. Because if it was
Mm-hmm.
fixed, I'd be running the streets right now. But I'm seeing him, his bike had always been up and running, but this is the first time I ever seen it injured in a way. I like to give everything personality that energy run through because energy
Mm-hmm.
runs through all things. But so it's interesting to see the energy, the same type of energy flow through his bike. Maybe he got beast sitting down too.
Hmm. Yeah, I like to see it that way too. If my bike wasn't working, it's like, okay, I'm not supposed to be on the street.
Cause I just
Something
grabbed the
bad is
bike pedal, the bicycle again. As soon as it broke down, put the bicycle right back in the spot. You gotta know, I'm not gonna sit here and wallow. If I want to go somewhere, go somewhere.
I've heard we are electrical beings and we should wear cotton, someone said.
You can wear whatever you believe your body can wear. All bodies is different.
Thank you. It's all concepts. Like if somebody said like, okay, we are electrical being and we need to use, this, this, this. it's all just saying and all just different concepts. Whatever works for you, do that. I would recommend
Because
everybody, whatever
and they
works for you.
use that everybody is different. They didn't say every person. That's not even a word. Every human, not even a word, is everybody. That's a word.
Hmm.
Everybody is different. And we spreading the truth of our bodies and our bloodlines and our concept of what our family genes should be to other people whose family genes, camp concepts, and genome don't reflect. And a lot of the times we forget that everybody's blood is mixing with certain people and certain things, and we don't take in consideration that when we talk, it's about that
Hmm.
specific genome, not because
Absolutely.
the internal body is talking. So
Hmm.
that specific genome of what make up that body is talking for people whose body make up similar ways, and it's like fits what fits you. As long as you are ready for the consequences of your actions and aware of your reactions, no matter what anyone does, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is your actions, your reactions, because internal thoughts don't matter. That's imagination. It's
Hmm.
anything that you physically do out in the material world.
Absolutely. I really like that you said that so clear because everybody's genes are different. Like whatever works for me would not work for you. It doesn't make sense. It's like, saying like the side effect of this, thing is the same for everybody, which is like ridiculous. The side effect that I will, it doesn't make sense, you know? So everybody is different. I think, is it a question? Same beauty and power. Children have they give everything life, character, personality, spirits. Okay, maybe we passed. Yes, you can actually ask any questions right now. We can
You
actually
sure
take
can.
questions.
I take questions.
Okay,
Like
so
I was also thinking the other day how so many of us continuously belittle each other about what each other eats. I saw a
mhm,
post the other day and he was like, it don't matter what they eat, we all gonna shit. That's it.
mhm,
And
true.
somebody else's eating habits shouldn't affect you. The only thing I think that it should affect is your environment. And the thing that it does affect is that so many people eat so many animals that there's no land left that's habitable for people to make trees and oxygen because the oxygen is what's keeping everything sustainable. That
Mhm,
is the habit of eating meat at such a high level has come into a stagnational and decreasing trend line of human health. And if we could just balance the trend lines of human health, then maybe we wouldn't fight so much. But really, it's just lack of oxygen. And that's basically what I'm doing in my life, is providing oxygen for everybody so that everybody has the option to be their best self. They have the ability to breathe with a clear mind and be their best self. We
yeah.
can't clearly think now because so many things are changing our environment. But really, the only thing we need to think is the oxygen. The water's in the oxygen. The food made out of oxygen. The food made from the very thing that makes the oxygen. So why not tap into the root of the problem and just say, y'all, we hungry as a people because we've been eating nothing.
Yeah. That is true. That is true. But we don't have that oxygen in our brain to actually think that way either. So
Yeah,
we're missing that as well. But when people think about the climate change and the planets going down, it's the same thing that's happening within people's bodies because we're doing the
exactly.
same thing
The
within
body
ourselves.
lacking vegetation, the body is lacking hydration, and the body is screaming. We done ate a lot of meat, y'all. We
Yeah.
we we at peak formation right now. That's it. And you got people like me, like a white blood cell, so to speak. I'm over here trying to implement the mentalness and say, yo, some vegetables. You want to eat some vegetables today? You want to eat some vegetables today? And I'm out here planting trees and teaching others how to plant trees. They out here talking about, but where's the money? I'm teaching you how to make money with trees to make you money for later money, for the generational money, the
Yeah.
money now money. There's no reason that you can't have no green grass in your body.
Yeah,
It's,
absolutely. Yeah, we just got to do the work, right? We just got to do the work. But
do the work is given.
yeah, no, really, like I feel like, you know, information wise, we are, clogged up. Food, we are clogged up in all kind of ways. Vibrationally, we are clogged
The
up. You
internet clogged with trash information. That's how our brains are manifesting right now. Like I made a tweet, and it was like, we are the internet. Everything that the internet can do, you can do mentally. You just want to see it outside of you. At the same
absolutely
time, all that information can be held and stored here for free. But the reason you forget is because you
created
don't
by humans.
update your system.
Yeah,
Your system
it's
won't
created
update.
by humans. So you would believe. Yeah. You would think it's just from us. Everything is an imitation of us. Everything that
Yeah,
you see, we just imitated.
yeah.
See the birds, we created a plane. It's just, it's nothing outside of ourselves that's in creation of outside. Everything on the outside is from within ourselves. But we
Hmm.
just can't grasp that concept because we are wrapped in our illusion, you know?
I'm very unwrapped, to be honest. I give a lot of everything a chance and let it prove itself. I don't really do much. I actually don't even. I used to deal in revenge. Back in the day, in my mean days, I would feel like I had to get back at you for doing what you did. Now it's
Hmm.
like it ain't. I ain't even got to. There's no point because karma not even in my control, and it's gonna happen regardless. So I just look at stuff. It makes me very passive, and now I'm just like, what can I do for the people? Plant trees. That's why I named my foundation the Three in Me, which is the Three in Me, which is a trilogy thing. But if you look at it, the words say the enemy is really yourself, and yourself is
Yeah,
just a reflection of what it is. And the enemy is me trying to be as natural as I possibly can and make so many people natural. Is the enemy of the technology world because they don't really want that, but the government will pay you for it. But even they
mhm,
don't want that. It's so many things you can do with trees that would change your life, how you live. But
yeah,
I can't say how it would because everybody different, but I know it will change because that
it will
perspective
change.
is natural.
Definitely, it will change. You know, that's you actually said it again. At this point, you don't feel like you're doing anything. You just are, right? You're just being, right? So that's what I meant by, can we remove the will, the desire towards something and just be, and remove habits without the will. Can we do that?
But just to be in one space, you also have to know where you are in your surroundings. Because I can sit out in this field right here and just be. So like, there's a field over there. I could sit out there in that field, right, and sit
Hmm.
there. But that's not my land. It's not my property. I'm not shielded from the rain. I don't have any kind of food hydration. I'm just out there being. The question is, how long can you be in that situation? Are you able to just be no matter where you are? Because you would have to move at some certain point because outside the material world, you need paperwork that need to be your land for you to even be there. You see,
So now we're
you
talking
have to
about
form
2D.
habits. Hold on. You have to form habits to be because it's all gonna reflect mentally. You can be in your mindset, you can be in the physical, but we're just using the physical be right now, right? So if you had positive habits to say, okay, this is where I like to be, I want to be right here, you would form habits to say, I'm trying to get right there. I gotta wake up in the morning, I gotta talk to people to get the income so I can get this piece of land so I can be here right there. You see what I'm saying? Mentally,
Hmm.
how can you be at peace if you always looking for something to be mad at? You gotta mentally sit there and say, hey, I gotta start doing breath work. I gotta start exercising. I gotta start doing affirmation. I gotta start talking to myself, listening to myself, eating different. These are habits you form to be in the peace that you want to be in. Because being is not just about standing there doing nothing. You can be in peace just like if you watch a cat will just be sitting on the shelf for hours. being. It can
Mm-hmm.
also do that off a tree, being. You can see it just trees just being in one spot, being.
Absolutely.
But they doing
Hmm.
so much.
They're
But they
doing so much.
rooted themselves to be there. They didn't just pop there and be like, I'm a tree and I'm good. They moved their roots. They threw down the leaves to make nice, cool soil for the roots. They let the animals live in them and move their bark around. There is so much work that goes into being. It's not an easy solution.
Absolutely not. For me, when I think about be or being, I don't actually see sitting still. I don't see nothing moving. You know, I see, I see me like fully functioning in the matrix at the same time, being. Like meaning being to me is like flowing with the creation the way it is. Like feeling the morning, like the night, the dark, feeling the light, feeling the air, feeling like you said, the tree is rooted. It's not like it's trying to be a tree, but if the tree, maybe for me it looks like it's just standing there, but it's doing so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that is being to me. So when I say being, I'm not removing the part where you have to do things. It's
Mm-hmm.
all about not feeling like you have to. It's a destination, all the time. That you have to reach something. That you have to
A
go for
tree don't
something.
say how high can it go. The tree be just going until it can't no
Exactly.
more.
Exactly. That's the being to me. That's what I mean. Like you just be, and then you will grow at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like you will get where you're supposed to, but it's not attached to a destination. Like okay, I'm gonna head this way, or I'm gonna become something. You
It's
know.
funny because infinity is seen through us through nature. No matter what humans do, no matter even if it's a planet that's deserted, that deserted planet is still a natural state of itself. Nature is like in everything, and there's no stopping it. When if you look at a raccoon, right? You see a raccoon, he be in the trash, he be cute, little babies. But then if you go into the jungle, you see the man coon. It's just a longer tail, a longer face, maybe even taller, and you like they both raccoons. They both raccoons because the environment changed,
Yeah.
but and it changed the way that they are. Nature shows us no matter what happens, it's just gonna adapt to it, even if it's seen as nature of an animal, nature of a plant, nature of a seed, nature of a bacteria, nature of a parasite. It can be seen as surviving itself. And
Mhm.
that's how I think humans should really tap back into, because we are running from surviving the world. But it really surviving ourselves.
Yeah. It is the truth.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate truth. It is ourselves. And that's what I was saying the other day. If everybody was focused on themselves, that's how we can actually move forward. But we are designed to just think like, okay, hey, we have to save this and save that and save that. And so everybody is like, towards, they putting their gaze towards others. I'm gonna help somebody. I'm gonna become a motivation speaker, so I'm just gonna scream all day and talk to
All
people.
day. I don't even know how to do it.
I don't know. It's the same things over and over. Like, oh, this is how you get money. Screaming
I
at the
can't do
like,
it. And it's so dark that I'm in the financial. I think it's finaturl. I'm in the financial department, meaning I find ways to help bring nature back to whatever you're doing. I don't care if you selling shirts. Bring nature back to it. Work with her, because she gonna help you more than I can help you. I can't make oxygen for you. I can make
no,
carbon dioxide. I can't make oxygen for you. So put nature into it. It's gonna breathe life into whatever you're doing. You're gonna grow exponentially. I can't preach that, but I can. But by the time I finish preaching about how she gonna help you, all it is that I've been talking about nature the whole time. I just been
yeah,
talking about self. And no matter where the conversation go, it always can be seen in a natural sense.
mhm,
Because nature the
mhm,
foundation. It is
exactly,
the very ground we stand on.
yeah. I think it's a mindset. If somebody wants that, like for somebody to understand that we are all connected and we need each other and we need these trees and this oxygen. for someone to connect that, it's kind of a mindset. It requires, brain capacity, I should say, but
That's
we
right.
don't, a lot of us don't have that. We can't even, we don't even see the trees. We pass them, we don't even see them, and it's like, oh my God,
Man,
you want to go to the trees? That's so scary, it's so scary. I'm
this is
like,
scary.
what's gonna happen to you?
Or they start saying you need to immerse yourself in nature, meaning they saying you gotta go to where there's a whole bunch of trees, but nature is literally outside when you open your door.
Yeah,
And I just be like, how you gonna immerse yourself in something you're already in?
that's
But
because
you
we
gotta
don't
know where
see
I
it.
come from. I've been doing this tree movement for about 2 or 3 years now, right? I've come into terms that people really don't know where their food come from or where their life come from because they've been integrated in man-made books. And it's the
Hmm.
very thing that they need to know about, which is the books came from the tree. The tree is the book.
Yeah,
How do you not
but
know the very thing that's keeping you from the tree is on the tree?
yeah, it's it's it,
That's the
it's it's a
life and death.
basic. Right. It's a basic thing, but imagine there are people out there that don't know that the book comes from a tree. So, it's a lot of people that think, that the rain comes from the sky. They don't think like the cloud is formed by the ground. It goes up, and whatever
Or
that's
the
come
thick
from the
breast
ground
of
is
a
coming
tree.
down.
Like, it's so
Yeah.
intense. If I should, if So I've been doing these classes, right? And I teach how carbon dioxide is formed. Do you know so many people didn't know that trees produced oxygen and that they breathe oxygen?
I
They
believe
have
it.
no clue. And in my mind, I'm just like, what did you think they were for? They
But
just,
you would think they would teach that in school.
hmm?
Wouldn't you think they teach that in school? Like that's a basic thing in school.
They taught us. That's my schooling. I've come to terms with. Most people didn't get the type of schooling I got. And all praises to my mama for her love and gentleness to understand us and keep us at that level. But my
Mm-hmm.
school taught us a good amount of knowledge that I gotta say I don't fit in that spectrum of our school didn't teach us. They taught us irrigation. They taught us building. They taught us building cars, building houses, food, vocals, sports, all types of sports, all types of dance. They went above and beyond for the education that I don't know about nobody else, so I
Yeah,
just wish that y'all had this
I
success
can
in
I
your
can relate that.
education.
I can relate to that. I had also I went to a good school.
And our food was good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all you people who food look
Where
like
are
jail
you from? I
plates.
may ask.
When you people eating them jail plate school foods, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't see that meme and see me. I don't see it. I see sadness. I'm just like, no, my tray didn't look like that. No.
No. And you are from the United States. I'm actually very happy to hear that.
Yeah, I'm from Texas. Texas love our education system and Jesus.
Mm, awesome, awesome. Yeah, I studied in Sweden, so we had good food too. You know.
Love it.
No, today, whatever they give in school, I don't know if it's already expired. To be honest with you, Mika, go se
If
på
it's even
honom.
food.
Jag menar det. Yeah, that was my kid. Sorry about that. But yeah, what was I saying?
We was talking about food in the school system and how the type of
Yes.
foods and the type of foods that the school system feeds you feeds the program in which you see box pizzas that stay in the box, burgers with the same consistency is getting used to fast food restaurants, chicken nuggets is finger foods of the day, snacks, enjoying yourself. And from
Hmm.
there on, you get random holiday foods, but then it goes back to the programming food. That's why prison food, quote unquote, they say looks like school food. But my school foods was brown pizzas, yo. And our chicken nuggets were tenders. Okay.
We're different. Oh my goodness. No, I see the schools today, and it's horrible. It
It
it really,
is.
yeah, it really is. But
Those who go to school, though, we got to
hmm
talk about those who did not go back because they still running around at their mama house, needing children and other children to play with because they didn't get vaccinated. They at grandma's house trying to do the best they can. We in need right now of homeschooling teachers. That's what the world really needs. Somebody on each street. New job out there y'all need to grab hold of and
Maybe that person would reconsider one day, because our mindset and what we put into our body is connected. They're connected. Like your
Mm-hmm.
pathways and everything is clogged up with all kind of foods and all kind of information, all kind of sounds and vibrations that you can't think clear for yourself, you know. So if I
Mm-hmm.
clear myself, you know, and remove, you know, toxin and parasites and stuff that was blocking me, and my mind is clear, it's my job to actually tell a sister or brother, you know, this is what I have done, or be that change around them. That's more effective if you can
Do
be
you know
the
how
change.
they have the spelling words? And when you saying that to give them knowledge, the key spelling word to give knowledge with the least amount of resistance is the words "did you,"
Hmm.
and that goes with "did you know," "did you do,"
Yeah.
"did you go." That spelling word is when cast upon people isn't so fought. Like, why did you do that? Or what are you going to do? Or when you
Hmm.
going to do it? It's like a different spell, and it causes friction. So when you passing on knowledge, you see somebody eating them hot chips. It's like, hey, did you know that red dye over there was made by them beetles? They were like, what beetles? But instead of saying, man, why you eating them chips still? You know that's
Hmm.
killing you, right? And that's a whole different energy, you
Exactly.
know?
Exactly. That's like that comes off of as judgmental. Like it's not my place to actually
Egotistical.
like why. I know why already because you like it. So
That's
it's the
right.
wrong question. Yeah, it's the wrong question to say why. But did you know I love that? You know, sometimes it can be hard to actually. I don't like to preach to people. You know, I don't. You know, some people can think like, you know, oh, you think you know this. So I really don't like to preach and tell people stuff. But I love that. Oh, did you know that? And if the person is like, oh yeah, I know, then you know
Then
they
that's
made the
it.
they made the decision consciously. You know, but at least you know you put it out there so we can help
I
each other.
believe that preach, reach, teach. I think it's like preach, reach, and teach are all similar words, but they show us the three levels that they are different. When you're reaching somebody, you gotta teach somebody. Whatever you're trying to reach them with, that's where you come with the did you know. And then preaching becomes when they're giving you your answer and you're gone by force. And you don't seem to know where the stop button is because you don't know your limits. And that's when you got to go back in the full circle and reach yourself and then teach yourself again to preach not to
Ooh,
others but to yourself. And then the
I
circle
love
goes over and over again, an infinite circle of teach, reaching, and preaching.
hmm I love that. I love that. It's always somewhere in yourself that you can reach. Every
Hmm.
day there's a place in me that I can reach, you know. And I find that actually easy by, you know, it could be a opinion I have about you, for example, right?
Hmm.
And I will go back and be like, "Hey, where did that come from?" Because it's definitely
Hmm.
not from you. You didn't say anything, you know. It's from me. It's from within
Hmm.
myself, right? So I always have to reach that point where that came from, right? And then I have to preach to that point, right? And
And to
then I can.
preach, you gotta do the knowledge that you saying that you do, because preaching ain't just verbalizing; it's being the action of what you truly believe in. You can't preach to nobody if your actions don't see what your words is saying or your thoughts are saying. So you really gotta be 100 with yourself to preach, and that's where a lot of people don't no longer can be seen as a preacher because they don't they're not seen doing what they preach. So
Yeah,
therefore, they gotta go back and reach themselves again and try to preach and teach again. But at the same time, the level in their respect causes others to see them types of ways. So
absolutely.
man, once you get into the levels of, it's like the levels of the reasons of the words they teach you. It's not so much the words that cast the spell; it's the level in which you use the words. Because I can be rich and say I'm poor, and my money increase, or I can be poor and say I'm poor, and my money don't increase.
Absolutely. But that's the point that, again, we can't preach anything, right?
Hmm.
We can just be. That's why you can't preach whatever you are not, right? So
That's
if you
right.
are, then you don't have to preach because you just are,
That's
right?
why it's at the top. You've gone too far in the level. But when you continue to be the student and the teacher, you in middle level. When you're reaching people, you feel like you gotta go out your way. Sometimes you gotta reach down, and sometimes you gotta reach up. But you're trying to find your level, you know. But when you start to get to be the student and the teacher, you at a state of neutral, and you're able to think, what am I doing? You being in the physical now. That's been this week's message to myself is, what do I want to do right now? The future is in the imagination. The past is no longer here in the now. It is in the imagination. What do you want to do? What do you want to think? How do you want to feel right now? And that's it. Everything else is imagination. That right there has hit me so intense because I'm over here always prepared for the next level. That's imaginational level. That's hopes and dreams. Right now, I'm in a
Right
good
here, right now.
spot. Right now, I know I'm good. But when the later come, I want to be better than whatever I was now. That means I want my money to increase later and be better than where it was now. I want my looks and my skin to increase later than better than it is now. My thoughts and my knowledge increase later. And that's what my message been this week to myself, not to others. It's just funny when I talk to people, it come up. So it's just,
Yeah. It's all about being right here, right now, actually. And what I like about learning how to be in the in the moment, in right now, is that you can't predict what's going to happen. You can't think of the future. You can't think of like anything. Even if you think about the moment that just have passed, like a minute ago, it's not now anymore. It's like it's a past. You know what I'm saying? So you can never predict
you
what's
can't
going
even
to happen.
remember what it is you're trying to put together pieces of the past. So it's a
Exactly.
lie now. So you're basically thinking of a whole scenario that may not even have happened correctly because it's gone. You really can't think about it. So it's now just a lie in the imagination realm. It lies in the imagination realm. And now you
Right.
dreaming of the imagination realm on this future, but the right now you can't even live in it because you're living in the imaginational dream realm, which is why they call it the matrix. You're living in an entire dream, but it's really just you figuring out which realms you want to stop being in and just being the one you got.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, oh my goodness. Yeah. If you think about the Matrix, though, it's just we are all the time chasing a moment, chasing a desire, chasing like even like thinking about the future, right? We want a certain attached to some type of desire, so we always like trying to
That's right.
reach something.
Being free in nature. Every
Just
desire I got right now is to be free on some property on land and just be at the one space I want to be and be happy to plant trees, be happy to breathe, be happy and enjoy just being in a space that I don't have to be ran off. I don't have to pay for no more. I don't got to think about no kind of income. I'm tired of thinking about money and I want to get to that space of being because money don't sit in being, y'all. It's done. So I'm trying to get there, be financially free, and just being. So
yeah,
anything I do until I'm at that point gonna be for me for that one moment. Right now, it's talking in this conversation. After this
I
conversation, it's gonna be something else that's gonna make my next day better.
it's just
I don't
right
want to keep
now.
looking at people. Right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
that's
Be
right.
content with the now. You know, it's it's everything is kind of like how they say like chase your dreams, chase this, chase that. It's like you would never stop chasing if you start running
See,
right
you
now.
stagnated and dead.
Yeah. Really, you will run like a hamster on a wheel, all your life. That's what we do. It's a cycle. We go to work, we
Hmm.
get money, and then we go and buy food, we eat, we poop, we
And the
same
cycle of
thing.
the work, eat, and obey, they don't have a stop. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
They say, well, when you gonna stop working? Well, the bills don't stop. The
Hmm.
food not gonna stop. I still want them new Jordans. That ain't gonna stop. And it's like they don't have an outcome to see it, but people like myself, which we call ourselves naturalists, we know what we're trying to get to.
Hmm.
We're just trying to get into a natural state of being.
Hmm.
Once we get there, that's being
Yeah.
for us. But if you in the States and you running around looking at a job, you're not looking to be nowhere. You in where you want to be,
Yeah.
because then you wouldn't be there.
Or you even chasing like different levels of the same job. I want
Of
to be a
the
manager.
same
Oh, I want to be
one.
yeah. Like at my job, people are like, Camilla, you don't want to be anything else inside. I'm like, no, I'm very good here. I'm just gonna be right here, because I need that money. But I don't, I'm not planning on climbing anywhere and becoming anything inside the organization. That's not my plan. But can you imagine that people actually connect their whole plan to an organization? For example, I'm gonna grow here and I'm gonna retire from here. You
If
know?
they flip it around and attach others to their organization,
Yeah.
that's the key. And that's what I've been trying to promote with what I do. I have my own network, but it's made because I attach people that believe in what I believe in. You planting trees with your products and services, I promote you and market you in my space. You out there helping animals and cleaning the ocean, I'll promote you on my space. You out there doing something to get people back in nature, even if it's just teaching them how to plant, teaching them about organic foods, raw breath work, breatharian type knowledge, working out. I'll promote that unnatural things because that's what I'm promoting. But doing that is growing me.
Yeah.
You see? It's not going outside myself and saying, hey, you up there, you got the bar going. I don't really promote drinking, but the people need it. And you see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I'm just like, that ain't helping me. That's
Yeah.
actually hindering what I'm doing. So I'm gonna
Backwards.
go collect and I'm gonna bring people to be connected to me. Because when you chasing people to connect with them, like all relationships, when the chaser is not being chased, it
Hmm.
ends.
Hmm.
I personally like to be chased, but I also like to be chased. I like to be the chaser and be chased.
Yeah.
And if I can't be both or give both, I only want it. It's boring. So like, so like I need a goal and I need the goal to hit me. That's why I like seed sowing. That's why I call
Hmm.
myself a universal seed sower because I sow seeds in all aspects of my life: mind, body, soul, spirit, astrological, mental, all levels, chakra system, multi-dimensional. It's all in the seed that you sow.
Hmm.
So so
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are the seed too, sometimes.
That's it.
Not
All
sometimes
power
you
to the
are the
seed.
seed,
Mhm.
you know.
Mhm.
So you can choose to be, a beautiful flower. You can be like, cactus if you want to, It's
Or you
like
can be an avocado. An avocado, if you take an avocado seed and you think you're going to get the same avocado from the same seed, it's not. It's not
no.
going to happen. An avocado tree will grow how it want to grow. Whatever avocado you get is the roulette wheel for you. Good luck.
Wow. I have actually a few avocado trees here.
Them avocado trees wild with that. You be like, I'm gonna get the little small avocados. I'm gonna be happy. It'd be the big old green ones. You just like, man, what is this? Gotcha.
You get whatever.
You get whatever the universe give you, and your reaction and your actions is all that matters. You just always need to be prepared. People work out. I don't understand why people work out, but the only reason everybody should be working out is to be strong for whatever the world tries to give you. You should be
Yeah.
strong. But if you don't want to be strong, that means you're not ready and not prepared. And preparation is the eradication of all fear, and that is
Yeah.
why we live in a fear-based society because you nods are not prepared.
What is it like? Some people don't even know what to be prepared for,
They don't, and they should just have acquiring knowledge and researching it.
Yeah. But
Your mind is the
it's a
internet.
different mindset. Some people don't even think like you have to research anything because everything is done for us.
That's
You-
right, but
The
it's not
government
done for
takes
us.
care of it. I believe actually, technology, or I think media is the new religion. You know how everybody obey religions?
Mm.
Before they used to have like different, religions, and if you're Christian, you follow the Christianity. If you're Muslim, you follow that. But
Mhm.
now it's media. Media is the religion. Whatever that says in the media, that's what we follow. You know.
Mhm.
So some people think like media is telling them the truth, is doing the research for them. So there's no research to do, right?
Mhm.
How would you let someone know that, hey, the reality that you live in, there's nobody that's doing the research for you. You have to do your own research. You
That's
know.
right. And do you know how that energy is going to be broken?
Kyrie,
Speak for the sprout to show. And it is through cryptocurrency, NFTs, and all that blockchain conversation. The roots of, did you do your own research before this hit the fan? A lot of people like, nah, I thought it was nothing. I didn't research it. But they're going to be the ones to suffer the most because they felt the need not to research. Then there's plenty of people who research it. Some people getting scammed. Some people trying to do the scamming. Some people doing it the best way they can. Me, I'm planting trees with it. And it's like us people who researching it and we doing the root work right now. So when the later come, we able to stand tall and withstand the storm. And that's going to be the hardest hit because money is something almost everybody uses in this earth.
Mm-hmm.
And when that shifts, not just a small way like it's been doing, if people been following money, they can see that it's been just waving like a snake. When it finally go lay down, it's going to lay down and let something else come in its place. You got to research.
You
If
got
you're not researching that, you're going to be laying down with it and it's not going to feel comfortable. And what you have to prepare for is always being able to be in your comfort level no matter
mm-hmm.
what. But if you
Mm-hmm.
don't have a house, how far are you willing to go for your comfort? If you don't, your car get taken, how far are you willing to go? Because eight states have taken away gas cars.
Mm-hmm.
Were they prepared for that? No.
Yeah, nobody's prepared
Got
for. People wasn't even prepared for toilet papers. So,
They weren't even prepared for the computer. The
wow.
computer was what, 20, 30 years ago, and look at us now.
Yeah, we are addicted to it. Technology. It's just a different skill that teaches you how to that disables you from your
It
original
do.
skills.
And there's a disable button coming. And we got to prepare ourselves with knowledge. I don't
Yeah,
care if it's, and I'm not saying, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying get yourself all the knowledge about money. No, get yourself knowledge that's going to keep you in your comfort zone. Can you build? Can you work on cars? Do you know how to make a water ring vehicle? Even
mm-hmm.
if it's a small little pedal, little car that you design to look like a car, but you pedal with your feet. Can you wash clothes? Can you make clothes? It go back to being a neighbor, a real neighbor in your community type thing. It go,
Yeah,
how prepared are you? Introverts, you got to prepare yourself that you got to talk to people.
yeah. That's
You gonna
even
need
deep.
help.
Just think about, like, if your electricity, let's say, like, if they just stop the water and
Mhm.
the light today,
Mhm.
what would you do? Like,
I
I,
went to
I
the
have
river
I
the
have
other
a
day for
water
that.
collector. I have a machine, a generator that
Mhm.
collects water from the air. So I can just pull that up and it collects water, right? So I'm not connected to whatever they have the water, because it's just a button that can stop that water, right?
That's right.
You don't have no water in your house. So how prepared are you?
I
Like,
live
oh
next
my
to
God,
the
I don't have
river,
water.
and
How prepared?
then the river trying to take over the land. The river trying to come meet me.
Yeah.
I wasn't
That's,
prepared for that.
see,
And
because,
so,
yeah, continue. Go ahead.
no, I was letting you continue because that's where we at. We trying to
Yeah.
be prepared.
Yeah, it's like you can be prepared for different levels. The electricity is one, the water is one. Those are just like basic things for me. For me, it's more like, like, how can I stay without food and water for days and days without,
Fasting. You
yeah.
gotta
So
regularly
fasting
fast
practice.
from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that I fast from my phone and I plant trees while fasting from my phone?
I love that. How did that feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. Do you know how it feels when it say 48 hours you spent off your phone planting a tree, or 24 hours planting a tree? This is the tree. Look at it grow. This tree provided jobs, oxygen, food, shelter, animal homes. Just one tree gonna bless the next generation, and you didn't pay no money for it. You literally took the time out for yourself.
See?
Yourself, just you being help somebody else. That feel
Mm-hmm.
powerful. Even when I'm
Yeah.
walking, like I'm talking to you right now, but I'm pacing back and forward because this conversation is just a walk too, and it's planting a tree.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Mm-hmm.
so to me, I gotta continue to stay in my work because the world we have now is God's job, and we as employees, and some of us are disgruntled employees and terrible employees. But we need to get on our job, and our job is to
We need to
sow
do
and
our
give
job.
back.
Yeah.
We are
Your
natural
job starts
sowers.
with you, you know. It
That's
starts
right.
with you.
And if you don't sow into the mind, you gonna harvest the words that cast spells and harm. If you don't sow into your body and your womb, you're gonna release the negativity out from underneath you. It's all about sowing, reaping, extending. It's just a universal twist of infinite
Mhm.
cycles of sowing and reaping. It come in various words, it come in various ways, but you give and you receive. You get, you give, you can take, you can receive. In the reverse, it's all you can do. When you give compassion, you get compassion. When you give hate, you get hate. When your mind is negative, you get negativity. We in a realm of reaping and sowing.
Mhm. It's a
So
boomerang.
therefore, the human body is made for what? Sowing. Find out how to sow. Mine is tree planting. It's the easiest one.
Hmm.
It's the
It
most
is.
naturalist one, y'all.
But for some people, like I said, it's different mindsets out there. Some people don't even think trees are being planted by human beings. Some people actually think the trees are just there. It's, it's so many different mindsets
Some
out there.
people think that dirt take up and walk. Like really think about dirt, y'all. Ants are moving the dirt. Insects move the dirt. You're killing all the insects. Who's gonna do the crop growing? The dirt don't move itself. The wind blow, but it only can blow so much.
Mm.
So the dirt not being there ain't no natural dirt collector mover out there. They
It,
ants.
like, yeah, these little insects and these little small, uh, insects are doing so much work. So much work, but people don't know. Like we see a bee, like we just, smash it on the wall.
When you see
Not
a
knowing
line
that.
of ants, you kill them.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why they bite. I don't. The ants out here in the jungle, they have been so disrespected that they disrespectful. But sometimes you'll get a species of ants. They'll start out being disrespectful, and they'll start to see that you respect them and they respect you. Like the leafcutter ants, I think are the most respectful of all the ants, because if you show them that their line is too thick to the right, and you give them a path, they will follow your path that you gave them.
Mm.
The small black ants be looking at you, they'll start to chew through your path, whatever. But they just been disrespected at a high level because they don't know where their next food coming from. Because
Yeah.
not all grass can be eaten by them, you know.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. No, we all.
The nature's powerful. We don't even got enough time to talk about the aspects of nature.
Another time. Another time. We already had. If anybody actually have questions and everything, Jojo,
They
please
just been
tell a
listening.
little bit
I've
about
been
yourself.
looking. They got no
Say it again.
questions. They just been looking. They ain't got
Yeah.
no questions.
They're just listening. But tell a little bit about your name, your business, and where people can
All right,
find you.
I'll
And
plug them in. My name is JoJo, also known as the Master of Manifestations and Gizero Fucks, because the Master of Manifestations is my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Gizero Fucks is my creativity side, and it is the founder of All Fucking Stuff, where we sell all fucking stuff. Your fucking stuff, they fucking stuff, anybody fucking stuff, everybody fucking stuff, plant a tree. So when you understand that, you come back to know that the 3andMe.info is the Natural News Network, and we promote all people's things that's natural there. If you want to check out anything that I just said, the link is on my bio in my section of this Instagram we got going on here. And that's where you're going to find all the social networks and all the things I'm doing. And if it's not natural, I don't really promote it. But all you got to do to get natural is plant some trees. And then we can
yeah.
plant trees with you. And that's it, really. My name JoJo. Gizero Fucks. Master of Manifestations. Check it out. I'm the only one
Awesome.
on Google.
Do you see that message? It's like two. Oh my God.
Hold
If I
on. It
put my
says, soaking in knowledge what y'all think about striving for material possessions while also striving for spiritual solitude. Um,
Yeah, the balance is
Material
amazing.
world is in the natural world. The natural world is the material world. The imagination world is what you want and you dream of. You, in order to feel it in the physical world, you need to touch material matter. So therefore, it starts to matter to you because it's made of matter. The bigger it is, the more quality of the matter, the more it matters to you. So therefore, how much of this world matters to you? Would you rather live in a house that's just like this, or would you rather live in the house that you live in? Because the house that lives like this is very simple. It doesn't need much work. It doesn't cost a bunch of insurance, and you know how to fix it because everything is found in nature. But inside your house, can you fix your house? How much of your time and energy and life force was going to fixing that house? You say you're trying to be in a spiritual aspect. It's about, like we said in the beginning of the video, stripping yourself down to your simplest natural form and seeing what you need in this material world to get where you're trying to go. How much matter is that going to take? Don't know. How much does it matter to you where you're trying to go? Build from that. That's all I really can say to that question, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. 100% agree. There are a lot of people that think like, getting into the spiritual. I don't even know what it is, what it means to getting into. It's like this thing, like stripping yourself away from all the habits. It will take you somewhere. If you want to call it spiritual or whatever you want to call it, that's up to you. But there are a lot of people that think like, you can't function in the matrix, you can't work and you can't do this. And like, I get a lot of messages just because of I post a lot on Instagram. People think like I don't do a normal job. They think I get paid for the things that I'm doing here and stuff like that. And I'm like, why are you asking me like, how do you do? Well, I work and I do this and I can't fast, because I do this is. I'm like, I'm raising kids. I actually got 3 different jobs that I'm like, different, handling and stuff. I am actually constantly doing things that matters to me. So it's not
Hmm.
like getting rid of everything and this is like a worldly stuff and I don't want to achieve that. I don't want to do that. That's a different mentality. That's it. You creating another dilemma again, another thing to, conquer, which is like, oh, I can't have this. I can't have that. I can't, you're restricting yourself again for no reason. So just like she said, whatever that matters to you, work towards it,
How can
and
how can the statement of I tweeted this one too. It says, "How can you expect doors to open if you're always closing doors?" So it's like
yes,
if you're always restricting yourself from every single thing, but you keep saying, "I want to move forward," it's like overlooking your own blessings and overlooking your own harvest because you're looking for something else. You're bound to have to waste and spend a lot more time trying to get to that point than if you say basically, all right, so if you have a phone and it works, what's the point of going to buy another phone that works?
exactly. I don't understand that.
And people always say, JoJo, you got iPhones. My iPhones are 10 years old, y'all. And I've been having them for like 8 years. Don't judge me because y'all want to look at a brand and y'all attach to material. My shit was given to me and it's been 10 years. So judging me.
I always ask people like, what number are we on right now? Because I have
Like, yo,
a
I'm over here
27
7
still.
plus. 7 plus, y'all. Like, leave me
I think they're
alone.
maybe on 14, 15, something like that, right?
I'm
Oh
over
my
here
God. You
trying.
know how
I
grandmother
saw
says,
my MacBook Pro. It's a MacBook 13, right? It was made in 2011. The keyboard went out a couple days ago, no, last week. And I looked at it and I said, well, I guess I gotta use the phone now. That did not stop my growth. And this go back to your question of material things. I'm looking for spirituality in myself, in a natural existence. Did I say use my money that I'm trying to save for my land to go buy a new computer? Because I already got something that will work, but to a point. I just took.
I think your voice got cut off. Your voice got cut off. Can you guys hear her? I can't hear her. Jojo, can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think your voice got cut off. There you go.
The phone battery was died. But I was
Oh,
saying you just gotta know where you going, how much material is, and I'm not gonna take my money from my savings of getting free and being that I've been working hard to get just to get a computer because I got a phone that can do something. It may not be to the height or the level I want to do it, but it can do something. And all I got to do is do something, and the universe will just give me what I need at that point.
mm-hmm.
So therefore, I'm still moving spiritual level lane. I'm going in the spiritual lane, and I'm not being pulled back on the brakes and stopping because there's people behind me moving. You see, and
Mm-hmm.
they need you to keep moving because what you're doing may be helping them. So the goal is to keep moving. If you got to pick up new brake pads, the third level brake pads to make your moving better, get that third level brake pad.
Yeah.
But if you just going down the street and you cricketing like this and you barely making it to your level. Somebody say I got a horse, you want a horse, and you say nah, I'm gonna get there in this, and you barely making it. You got a problem.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna
Absolutely.
make it. You should have got the horse.
Ah, yes,
That's
absolutely.
the level of material possessions in spiritual.
Ah, by the way, the laptop issue happened to me also once before. I'm like, am I gonna buy a new laptop? But I bought a keyboard and I plugged into it, so
I'm
it
already
worked.
past that. The USB plug is out. So the plug-in keyboard, y'all, I ran this computer 2011. Y'all need to understand these dates. This 2022. This the second 20. We in almost the last of the second 20. We only got one go around. Anyway, the USB plug dead. The little keyboard. You know what I'm on now? Bluetooth from my phone as the keyboard. But that don't work all the time because if the computer dies completely, the Bluetooth don't click on. So I gotta continuously turn it on even if I can't use it just to keep it on.
Yeah,
Y'all, I'm going through over here, but that don't stop me from doing my natural
yeah.
purpose. That's not
Actually,
gonna stop me from reaching my goals.
absolutely. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Like, it doesn't even, make sense. Like a little material thing just to stop you. With all that shedding and internal work. You
I
know.
mean, yeah. Yeah,
But it
my
happens.
website's gonna not be updated like it need to be. And I really want to sit down and do Zooms like I was doing. I got to turn my classes away from Zoom and put them on Google Classrooms just to fit the fact that I don't have my laptop no more. But
Hmm.
I'm learning a new skill set. But at the same time, I got to relearn a bunch of stuff, it's slowing me down. But that don't it's not a break, you know.
Absolutely. I love that. I love that. I really love that. That is so awesome, Jojo. Now we went over a little an hour.
We
I'm
did,
actually,
we did.
yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
No, nothing to be sorry about. Oh my God, I really enjoyed it. We need to continue.
You can just hit
Having
me up whenever you want to hit me up, and just feel the
that would be
spirit. You can come on.
yes, awesome. Then for me, actually being on live and stuff, it's a practice for me. Sharing the love.
What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Monday. I'll be doing a
Mm-hmm.
podcast at noon, which is actually 2 hours from where we are right now. On an app called Stereo. It's just voice, like radio show type style. And we just talk normally there about motivational Money Monday because your body is the life force and the energy. Is not the cash that you hold in your hand. And that's
Mm-hmm.
that's what we talk about. We get ready for the week, get ready to find the energy we need to do and be successful. And yeah, if you feel the need, come through chat. Just come through and say, "Hell, this is what I felt. The energy and motivation. Spit it
I
through."
would love to. I would love to. Mondays is actually my favorite days. A lot of people don't like Mondays, but it's like, for me, it's like, oh my God, it's a start, Let's start the day, and the week, basically, even though every day is just a concept. But I would love to. I would love to.
I'll drop the
Monday.
link later, and
Okay.
I'll DM it to you so you know.
Awesome. Yeah, I would love to. And we need to do more lives, and I would
More
definitely come
life,
back.
but dude, most definitely, I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to the space that you provided. I'm grateful to your following, those who do follow you, to even be here, to even see me, even know who I am. I'm grateful all the way around for the space and the energy and the time.
The feeling is mutual. Absolutely. I'm very grateful to have you here. Like we all connected, we all connected, and nothing is coincidence. That's why we're here on this live today, speaking from our inner knowledge, from within. It's all about, it's all about you. If everybody just recognize, when we were kids, be a hero, be a firefighter or whatever, it's always like outside of yourself. If you want to be a hero, go inward, work on yourself,
Hmm.
you know, get to know yourself. Who are you? What are you? What are these thoughts? What are these habits? What do you do every day? Why do you do it? How can you,
Hmm.
stop the things that are not serving you? All of that, if you just work with yourself and just turn your gaze inward, you know,
Be the symbol of the capital I. The capital I is one line here, one line here, and it's finding out itself in the inside. And that's what the I is. It's the only letter that is a word all the
yeah,
time. A is, but A is not all the time. I is I all the time.
exactly, right? So please, inward, 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 and everybody, if we could put our lights on, the warehouse will be lit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about us, all of us being in this dark warehouse, if I put my light on and you put your light on and everybody put their light on, the whole warehouse will be lit up. And then we can see the way. So that's the only way it works. It's not one person that can just turn on the switch, but all of us need to put on our lights. That's the only way
And
we can
because you
see.
said this, I'm going to go after this chat is over and I'm going to do what we call a digital seed sowing. What is that? It's basically you go and you sow a digital seed. 100 different people that don't even know you water your seed, and it turn into a physical tree. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna plant one of our digital souls, and I'm gonna try to get us a physical tree for the connection that we have here right now that we have started here on Instagram for intentional affirmational purposes, if that makes sense. We
Ooh,
don't
I
know what
love.
type of tree it's gonna be. We just push the button after it hit 100 waters, then it grow into a physical tree. The beautiful thing is, it's exactly what you said. We everybody collectively just shining a light on one source. That's and it's gonna be a physical, material aspect, but the tree is all we can see that's natural that we
Mhm.
collectively do this with, and see what it is that we teach. You know.
Yes, awesome. I love that. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. So excited. What kind of tree even,
We don't know. You won't know until the 100 hit. That's
But
it. It's like
that's
all on fate. It's beautiful.
that is so lovely. I love that. Thank you so much, Jojo. And I see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Upon you in all forms of abundance.
Likewise, sister. Much love to you all. I see you guys tomorrow. Mm.